That's what I thought. It's time for the experiment. I hope these words inspire as much enthusiasm in you as they do in me. What's the experiment about? You see, I have decided, though dared would be a better term, to address an issue which up to now I have preferred to avoid due to my total ignorance in this sphere. Nenio lowers her head in embarrassment. I realize it's hard to believe that I, as a person of, let's skip the false modesty, superior intellect, could not know something so simple, but it's never too late to fill in gaps in one's knowledge, right? I'm talking about friendship. To be honest, at first I planned to assign the writing of this article for the encyclopedia to a co-author of some kind, but then I met you, my loyal follower, and suddenly I thought I could write it myself. Nenio seems to have reached the limit of her courage, and she looks away. So you've never had any friends? I see no sense in them. Hold on, so you're trying to say that you consider me your friend? You misunderstand me. I don't need friends. I have no desire to spend my time on them when I can spend it on new experiments and discoveries. Nenio explains this to you as though she is speaking to a 5-year-old. I just want to learn what it's like to have friends for the encyclopedia, nothing more. I realize that you would like to consider me your friend. Who wouldn't? I'm a scientific luminary after all, so I do apologize for disappointing you. Well, if it needs to be done, we'll do it. Let's get started. I'm glad you've agreed. Many would have considered my request too personal and refused. It's good that you're above such squeamish sentiment. Hence, I've made a list. I based it on my observations of individuals around me and on my personal knowledge of the topic, which, I have to admit, is far from comprehensive. She hands you a crumpled piece of paper. Study it well. We'll start as soon as you're ready. Friends. Smile at each other. Gossip about other friends. Drink alcohol together. No longer required. Sometimes argue, sometimes copulate. Do we have to follow this list? Nenio looks at you with disapproval. You're trying to say that I made it for nothing? I've developed a perfect methodology that involves all the mechanisms of friendship between two individuals. But by all means, sure, let's just abandon the list. Point number 1. Friends, smile at each other. You raise your eyes to Nenio, who has already fixed a malevolent grin on her face. The kind that would make you soil yourself if you saw it in the dark of night. Respond with a brief smile. Keeping the unnatural grin on her face, Nenio hisses through clenched teeth. You call that a smile? Come on, try again. Give her a wide smile. Your eyes bore Nenio's as she stares right back at you both. Grin as widely as possible. A minute passes in tense silence. She massages her cheeks with her hands. I never imagined being a friend was such an exhausting business. So, what's next on the list? Point number 2. Friends gossip about their other friends. Ooh, I've made some preparations for that. She produces several pieces of paper from her sleeve. Come on, let's get to it. Who are we going to gossip about? Let's do Regal. Excellent choice. So, what do you think of him? He is a good friend and a fine comrade in arms. Oh, how interesting. Incidentally, yesterday I saw him. Nenio picks up a random piece of paper and reads it. Eating worms. That doesn't sound like him at all. Really? Excuse me, I'll try again. Yesterday I saw him. Nenio picks up another random piece of paper and reads it. Drinking from a puddle. Do you have any idea who we're even talking about? Nenio becomes a little embarrassed, but only a little. No, I don't make a point of remembering those I travel with. That's why I prepared these universally applicable pieces of gossip. She raises her fist with several pieces of paper clenched in it. Right, thanks for the info. Truth be told, this whole experiment seems like sheer stupidity to me. How can we learn that stupidity is stupid without doing stupid things? We need to finish what we started. She gives you a satisfied nod and stows her papers back in her sleeves. All right, stage 2 is now complete. What's next on the list? Point number 3, friends drink alcohol together. And then it says no more required. Oh, right, I should cross out this point. I wrote this and then I checked the encyclopedia and recalled that I've already conducted that experiment. And judging by the same encyclopedia, and especially by an odd stain on that particular page, it would be unwise, to say the least, to try and repeat it. Point number 4. Friends sometimes argue. A new heap of paper appears in Nenio's hands. You are uninterested and disinterested in this experiment, and you can't even tell the difference between those two words. Hey, you kiss my ass. Not too creative, but it will do. Now we can definitely be considered friends. And on that note, I conclude the 4th part of the experiment. What's last on the list? Point number 5. Friends sometimes copulate. Oh, yes, that, Nenio sighs. Take off your underwear. Bravely pull down your underwear. Oh, uh-huh. Well. She produces a piece of paper from her sleeve and starts frantically covering it with drawings. What are you doing? Before copulation, I must make a sketch of your genitals for the copulation article in the encyclopedia. The provided drawing will interest many students and scientists who know only of copulation through secondhand accounts. Nenio is so ridiculous. Please stand still. Wait. Nenio is so engrossed with her task, she accidentally bites her tongue. It appears your copulation won't be happening today. Keep standing there with your underwear down. Keep waiting and hoping, though it is obvious that there will be no copulation today. Nenio is so absorbed in her work that the world around her, including you, seems to have ceased existing to exist for her. They probably meant cease to exist for her.